This month's TV 47 Star Student of the Month from Munford Middle School.
And we welcome Mekiah Mosley this morning, an 8th grader at Munford Middle School. Mekiah, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being with us this morning. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am an 8th grader at Munford Middle School. I'm a historian for the SGA at Munford Middle School. I have a brother who is 1, and I have a sister who is 10 years old. I play Munford Middle School softball and volleyball, and I was 8th grade representative for the Munford Middle School homecoming court.
Fantastic. Mekiah Mosley, 14-year-old 8th grader at Munford Middle School. And what goes into being the historian at Munford Middle School? What do you do?
It's all about taking pictures where you have to, at the end of the year, you take pictures of all the activities that we did, and you create a scrapbook at the end of the year that you show your school. And we have conferences, SJ conferences, where we go to JSU, we go to the Tuscaloosa, all the SGA representatives, we have president, vice president, and we went to Orlando. We flew to Orlando this year for a conference. And it's all about having leadership and leadership qualities.
Fantastic. What is it like being an 8th grader at Munford Middle School, and what's so special about Munford Middle?
Well, it is really fun being an 8th grader because as an 8th grader, it is our last year at middle school, and we get treated kind of special because it is our last year, and they try to make it extra special for us. So they kind of consider us like the seniors at Munford Middle School. Like you have seniors at high school, they consider us the seniors at Munford Middle School. So they just try to treat us really special, and we have a Who's Who dance, and we actually have Prince and Princess for the Who's Who dance for 8th graders.
Talk about the classes that you take and excelling in those classes.
Well, for my classes, I take 2 advanced classes. I take advanced history and I take advanced English. And history is really interesting because we do tons of debates, and English, we have to read a bunch of books, but it's really fun. And I take prep. It's a career prep class where we have to create a digital portfolio for our life. And right now I'm creating the digital portfolio to be a veterinarian, and I'm attending the school at Texas A&M.
Texas A&M University.
Yes.
All right, that's a good deal. You're active in sports at Munford Middle too.
Yes, I am. I play volleyball. Our volleyball season just ended this October, and I play softball. Our season actually starts this January when we go back to school. We're currently just on Christmas break right now.
Which do you like better, volleyball or softball?
I like softball. I played t-ball. I started t-ball when I was 5, and I've been playing ever since I was 5.
All right. Now, you talked about your siblings a little bit. What about your parents? Who are they?
My parents are Megan and Shannon Mosley, and they provide whatever I need. I love them so much. They're really special.
All right. Mekiah Mosley, 14-year-old 8th grader at Munford Middle School. How did you get started having an interest in history?
An interest in history. Well, I love to learn about back then and how the world started now today and how we grew up and things like that.
What are some differences that you see in your studies of history and where we are today?
Well, I see how technology has changed. I see how we used to use books and things like how y'all used to use books and things like that, but now we don't. I see how y'all were raised different, where y'all actually had to get out and work for what y'all earn. Not saying that some of us don't now, but some of them just get it handed to them, but some of them have to actually work. But back then, everyone had to work for what they wanted.
You were the 8th grade representative in the Munford Middle School homecoming court. I know that was exciting for you.
Yes, it was.
You also attend church at First Missionary Baptist Church in Talladega. Talk about your activities in church.
Well, I am in the youth choir, and I am on the committee board, and I sometimes help my aunt work in the kitchen committee, and I help younger children who need help sometimes.
You talked about your future and wanting to be a veterinarian. How did you get started as to, in your thoughts of being a veterinarian?
Well, actually, I want to be a veterinarian, so I can have a lot of experience working with farm animals, so I can one day own a big ranch.
So do you have animals? Are you around animals now, son?
I used to have lots of animals when I was younger, and I'm hoping to get back into that. Like I had frogs, I had dogs, I had lizards. I had a bunch of animals when I was younger.
Mekiah Mosley, 14-year-old 8th grader at Munford Middle School, our Star Student of the Month. And Mekiah, with all the activities and classes you got going on, I'm assuming that it takes a little technique to balance all of this.
Yes. And yet again, I am a straight A student. I work hard to get my A's, and it wouldn't be possible it wouldn't be possible to be where I am today without my parents and my teachers.
Okay, and finally this morning, who is somebody that has made a real positive influence in your life, and maybe somebody that you lean on for guidance?
Well, I have my family members, all of them. They really helped me, but my 8th grade math teacher, she really encourages all of us to work hard and to achieve our goals and to really push. The stars are not the limit.
Finally this morning, your favorite food for the Christmas season?
My favorite food. Well, my favorite food, we usually have breakfast food for the Christmas season. My favorite breakfast food would probably have to be eggs.
All right, sounds good. Mekiah Mosley, 14-year-old 8th grader at Munford Middle School, is our Star Student of the Month. Mekiah, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you for having me, and Merry Christmas.
More Daybreak coming up right after this.
This Star Student of the Month was brought to you by TV 47. Tune in to Daybreak weekdays at 6:30 a.m. for your Star Student of the Month.